Hey guys, okay, working on this 1989 Mercury 9.9 outboard today, and we've got a leak coming from around the prop. Got gear oil coming out, and I already drained the gear oil out of this, and there's water in it. It's like kind of a milky white. So we're going to replace the oil seal in here, and some of you may know there's a special tool to take the bearing carrier off, or the oil seal carrier, I think it's called. But I'm just going to show you how to make one. If you guys are wondering how to drain the oil if you've never done it, there's just these two screws here. This is the screw in the lower end of it. It's got a magnet on it that goes into there. Just take that out, the oil will start to drip out. And then another screw goes in the top right there, and it sort of just lets the air in, and then when you're filling it, it lets the air out. So just drain that first. Okay, so we're just looking at the end of the prop here. I've already loosened this nut. You can do it with just a wrench. And then we have this sort of bushing here. It looks like a nut, but it just slides on. Prop comes off. And then we have another bushing. Goes on this way with the nut sort of hex going in towards the engine, or the prop. And then the next thing, we have to remove this seal holder type thing. So there is a special tool. You can get it from Mercury. It's about 150 bucks. But I just bought this piece of tailpipe. So this is a 1.5" ID by 1.5" OD tailpipe. So I'm using the 1.5" sort of sleeved end here. And then I just cut 3 notches in it, just like the real tool. And they're gonna slide, it's gonna slide in there, and it's gonna grab a hold of this carrier, and we're gonna twist it out, and you'll see it in a sec. So put it in there. And using it as a 90, it acts like a wrench. And I've got the motor tipped up so you can see it, like I said. But there is a pin on the end of that rod I just pulled out. You can see it's down there. I'm just going to use a magnet to get it out. There it is right there. You want to make sure that goes back in. Just goes in there like that. Okay, so there's the pin I was talking about. Want to make sure that goes back in. And then actual spindle pops out. And then this is your reverse gear. And then the seal is actually just right there. So it seals around the shaft normally and just keeps oil from leaking out or water getting in. So that's what we're going to replace. Okay, so I'm just using a punch like this, and I got a piece of wood here. And we're just going to tap that old seal out. There it is there. Okay, so there is a bushing down in there. So it's that sort of silvery part right in the middle. It's about 1/2 inch long. I actually got another one right here. That's what it looks like. And there's the part number. You only need to replace that if the current one is pitted or it's not looking like it's in good shape, but mine is actually looking like it's in really good shape. There's no point trying to pop that out. I mean, if I was going to do it, I would probably just find a socket that's the exact right size. There is a tool to do this from Mercury. I'll put the part number on the screen if I can find it. But you basically have to push it through and then use the tool to reinstall it, but as you can see, it just goes flush with that surface right there. But again, only replace that if you absolutely have to. But we're going to push the new bearing back in, or new seal back in, and you can see there is a little seat where it does go into, so you don't have to worry about pushing it in too far. And we are going to replace this outside O-ring here. I ordered that as well. So there's the new seal in the O-ring from Crawley Marine. And there's the part numbers right there. So bearing carrier oil seal, 66022, There's the bushing. Oh, and I ordered a couple other things. The O-ring's up at the top there, so you can screenshot this if you like. And I just got a new anode assembly and a screen for the water intake. So I'm just going to use a socket here. This one happens to be a 17 millimeter, and it fits pretty nicely around that. And you can see it fits into here, so that should work out. So I'm going to start it as straight as I possibly can. And that's pretty much it. Then we'll replace this O-ring. Clean up. And then we'll apply, you can use marine grease, but I like to use this O-ring lubricant here. Now we'll just reassemble everything. Put our reverse gear back in. Our pin in the end. And basically just tighten it down until you feel it bottom out. And then just torque it down. I don't know the exact torque spec, but just needs to stay in there. And it should, in neutral, spin freely. So we're good. Put this collar back on. Prop. And I'll tighten this back down, and then we'll put some oil in it, gear oil. While I'm here, I'm going to replace the anode in this screen because it's busted. The anode still has some life, but might as well put a new one. They're super cheap. They don't give you a new screw with the screen. You'd have to buy that separately, so you got to reuse that. But they do give you a new one with the anode. Probably should have done this when the prop was off, but it's not necessary. Okay, I'm just using some MotorMaster marine gear oil, and I've got this little pump I use on most bottles it doesn't fit this one, but I'll just hold it. And basically I'm just gonna pump it in here till it comes out the top and then quickly put the plug in. Oh, and right at the top, as you can see there, if I give it a little bit more, there it is coming out. So just hold that on there. And one trick is just put the top in so it can't get air and run out when you go to put the plug. That should be fine. And then we'll quickly replace the plug. And then we didn't lose hardly any. Tighten that up. Finish tightening this one. And that's all there is to it, guys. So if you got any questions, just let me know. Thank you for watching.